So welcome to the session about empowerment. I think we all need it after yesterday evening. And 1 second. Okay. And this is me proudly carrying the flag of our organization, Levi 9, for almost 15 years. And 5 years ago, I was celebrating 10 years in this company. And 10 years is a long period, of course. I had different functions. I worked in 2 countries, in 3 of our locations. I started one of our offices. I had number of customers, number of teams. And basically, I thought I knew it all and I've seen it all. And that was the moment when I was offered the position of a security officer. And this was the first time this position was introduced in the company. I didn't have any team. It was not really clear to me what to do, and I had no one to ask. So, of course, I said yes. And in those 5 years with my team, so I got my team, and we did a lot of things together, and we brought a lot of changes that we can be proud of. But I think the biggest one that I would call our achievement is that we brought a topic of security to everyone in the company. And why I'm telling you this? Because these 5 years of struggles and some fun and some failures and successes helped us to answer the question how to empower people with a security topic. And basically what this question is about, it's about introducing a change from don't know, don't care, I don't know, I have other stuff to do, to yes, of course it is important and this is what I'm doing. Yeah? And this is quite a big change in behavior and mentality, and we are humans, and it's not so easy to bring this change. And on top of that, you have whole organization to work with. So it sounds big, and it is big. So how you do it? So in our case, we built 3 things, which I want to share with you. And building anything takes time and effort, and sometimes goes wrong, as you know, but it's worth it. So first thing we built was build trust. And I have a quote for you. If the ask is too high and the trust is too low, it will lead to a cognitive dissonance in people. To put it simply, if you want people to do something, but they don't trust you, so what they will do, they will avoid this topic, they will put it on some kind of low priority list, they will pretend it never happened. Yeah? But if you have trust, you sometimes don't even need to ask, because people just do it by themselves. So that's why it's so hugely important to invest your efforts there. And how to build trust? Well, building trust is basically about empathy. Empathy is not really a word often used in security, but I think we should, because we work with humans. And what's empathy is about? It's about listening, understanding people's needs, understanding what they want something or don't want something, and creating a safe environment for them, so they know they can come to you and report and come with some issues. And not only it will be positively perceived, but they will be supported in the process further. And this like everyday action, yeah? So when someone comes to you, well, if they come to you, it's already half success, yeah? So if they really came to you, and they ask you, can I use this tool or something? And you can, of course, say, no, that's not allowed. This is our policy. Or you can say, why do you need this tool? What are you trying to solve? And you can look together how you can solve it. And these small steps, they build this trust. And also, to give you an example, when we started, people would report incident after they solved it. Like, 3-5 days after it's all solved, and then you actually found out about that. And because that was the safe moment for them to report, that's what they felt safe. And now we have really 2 seconds time. Yeah, so immediately after that happens, and why they do it? First, they know that it will be positively perceived, and secondly, they know we will even help them further with any communication they need to do, so they can focus on technical stuff. So this kind of change is unique bring. And also important here, you need to choose your side. So if you're a security officer or you're in security team, you need to make a decision. Are you fighting with the whole organization because you know security better, or you're working with organization? So first one, of course, yeah, it could be interesting as well, and kind of it's feeding your ego. Second one, it's more time consuming and it requires some efforts, but in the long run, you're benefiting and organization benefits as well. So with my team, we've chosen the side to work with our people, with our organization. And we even put it like on paper. So we created our own manifesto. And it might remind you of Scrum Manifesto. And for a reason, because we kind of used the idea a bit. And here it's really for our team, it's internal, it's not on the wall in our company anywhere, but it helps us to understand what are our values. So what's more important for us? Is this restricting and controlling, or is it enabling and assisting? What's our drive? Rules and documents or value-driven solution? Are we focused on securing ourselves, making sure we are fine, or we are partnering with customers to solve our common risks? And are we a team that know it all, or are we promoting locally people to have ownership and make decisions about this topic? So we created this, and we stick to it. And if anyone from our team slides out a bit, we pull them back. Yeah, so because it's important to stick to it. And when you have trust, well, things are easy. People come to you, people involve you, people want your opinion, people want your advice. So this dynamic is really different. So you are not going to anyone, people are coming to you. And when you have trust, you build a foundation for introducing a change. And again, you cannot be really done here, I'm afraid. Yeah? So it's not like, okay, now we have trust, we can focus on something else. It's a continuous action. But when it becomes your habit, in terms of how you respond, how you react, how you approach people, it becomes much easier. So it requires less efforts, but still it's a continuous effort. So that's the first thing we built. And second thing we built is a team. No one can whistle a symphony. It takes a whole orchestra to play it. And in security, we are playing orchestra. So we are playing the symphony. Yeah. And when I started, it took me, I think, 2 days, maybe a bit longer, to realize I cannot do it alone. And that's why I told to my manager, and I draw like a little picture with like, I want these 3 teams, and I want them to do this and this, and actually that's what we have now, so all the dreams come true. But it's really important to understand that it's not a job of one person. There are companies where it's just one security officer. It might work in some cases, I guess, but it's really difficult for me to imagine this person who knows like all of it and expert in everything, because it's always a combination of the skills, knowledge, efforts of several individuals. And the building team is about engagement. So of course you need to have right people on the team. This is like a first step. And if you have such a luxury as me and you have this great team, it's already a good starting point. So this is my team, and they, well, not all of them, we are totally remote, so some of them I haven't seen in more than 3 years. But so this is a combination of they're really professional, and this is, we are in some serious meeting discussing serious issues, but also they are slightly crazy, and you need this as well, to do something unusual, to do something normally you wouldn't do in security. So this part is also really important. So this is like a healthy mix, what I call it. So important to have right people, but that's not everything, yeah? So you really need to engage them in everything you do, whatever it is, planning, decision making. They need to be aware and they need to feel that they can contribute on any phase. And when they have this feeling, then you can call it a team. Then you can do things. And then when you have your team and you think you're done, well, you're not done. Because in the organization, there is no department that you can say, oh, they have nothing to do with security. This department doesn't exist. Even if you have some, I don't know, cleaners department, you cannot say they have nothing to do with security. Everyone does. And that's why you really need to partner, connect with all these departments in your organization. So you need to expand your team. Yeah? So you need to go further. So how you do it? The best way to engage them is to do something together. So, of course, you can just send an email, I need this and this. This is not engagement, yeah? This is not partnership. So if you do something together, like we are organizing Capture the Flag competition, can my team do it by themselves? Yes, we can. Can someone else do it? Yes. But if you do it together, so in our case, we do it with our red team, with internal hacking team, and then the quality of this is totally different, yeah? So, and also number of people joining is bigger. And feeling is different, and it's much more fun. So we partner with them, and then it's their event, but also our event. We do it together, and then you create this kind of partnership. Or, for example, this week, we had lunch with a hacker. So we interviewed one famous hacker who hides his identity, so you see he doesn't have his video image. And we recorded it, and then we invited people for the special lunch to watch it and discuss it. And again, we could have done it ourselves, but we invited talent and marketing and office management to help us to promote, to arrange it, and it's totally different event then, yeah. So, and information goes to more people, quality is higher, and also then they feel that's my event as well, yeah. So it's not just your thing. So you are doing this together. Additionally, what you can do, you can exchange knowledge with other departments. So even though they're not doing security, it's not their primarily goal, there's so much knowledge in organization that you kind of physically cannot absorb it even if you want it, all of it. But you can do some balanced, of course, things. For example, we have regular meetings with my team, of course, and sometimes we invite like guests to our meetings. Yeah, we call it our next guest needs no introduction. Yeah, so someone from a company that we think can share with us some insights. It could be they're doing some training program or how they do their planning or their objectives. I don't know. There are so many things that you can learn, and we invite them and. They share this with us, and that's how you build this connection, yes? So you're partnering with them. And no one ever said no to me when I asked them, even though they're really busy and security is not their job, they have other things to do. But people love sharing, and people love helping. So they always come and share. And you can do the same. So if you have something, some event or some activity or some training, you have some lessons learned, invite people, share this. This meeting is open for everyone. Please join and see what we've done. You can also join yourself meeting. For example, I join sales meetings from time to time. It's not my department, but I find it interesting because we do a lot for customers and I want to understand what the dynamic is there. And if you ask, can I join? Mostly people say yes. Mostly people say because you're interested in what we do. Of course, please come. And when you build all these connections with all the departments and you think you're done, no, you're not done. Because you can go further. You can expand your team further and you can involve whole organization. So if you are like a 20 people company, of course, you can just talk to everyone. We are a bit bigger than that. So it's not really possible, but you can do still some things. For example, you can ask people to provide feedback. For our annual event, this conference we are conducting each year, so we are always asking people which speaker you want to see, which activities you want to see, which topics you want to see. And they provide input that my team would never come up with because we are limited, with what we know, what we've seen. and they provide such an insights that, yeah, it just inspires us, and we can actually use this information. And of course, you need to listen, yeah, the trust part. So if you ask, you also need to listen and react, yeah? Otherwise it goes wrong. And we get these ideas and we put them in this event, and this makes this event much better, and people will feel engaged as well. And when everyone is engaged, yeah, it's not just you who is doing security in organization. Everyone is doing it. So engagement helps to get people on board. And the last part we built is build community. So kind of like a security tribe, like a security community, yeah? You can call it. And building community is about making this topic attractive. And I have a little quote for you from James Clear. Habits are attractive when we associate them with positive feelings, and attractive when we associate them with negative feelings. Well, discovery of the day, yeah? So how we can create this positive association with security? Well, of course, by telling them you're the biggest link and most of data breaches happen because of human error and you will do it as well, I know. No, this doesn't motivate people to join your tribe, yeah? And I think this was my opening slide when I started and I looked like this really serious, but yeah, it doesn't help. But there are things you can do to motivate people to join your tribe. So one is you need to make it easy, simple. And there is I think almost everything can be simplified, at least to some extent. So for example, we use ninja movies for security awareness because they're funny, punchy, informational. Well, that's why we use them. And in some movies at the end, they have this kind of one-liner. And I was surprised myself that people really remember this. So they come to me, report something, and then they look at me like, if you see something, you do something. So because they remember that phrase, it's even for me a bit surprising. But why they remember this? Because it's simple. Because it's simple to remember. Because it stays with you. So things like this are really working, yeah? Or for example, if you have, I don't know, security incident notification process, which is usually some big document, you cannot expect people to remember it, especially as incidents do not happen often. So what we did, of course, we have this process, and my team, of course, aware of this and how does it work. But we just told people, inform your security officer. That's your process, and we will take you from there. Really simple, you know, they just need to remember this, and the rest we will go from there. So think of all the things you're doing, how you can simplify them. Then people find it more attractive to do it. Well, second one, how to make it attractive is to make it fun. And I think there is no topic where you cannot bring a bit of fun into, even if it's like an audit. So audit, I don't think anyone has super positive association with this. And when we started, well, people were not hiding under the tables, but it was kind of close to that. Yeah? Of course, there was resistance and like, why we're doing this, what is it? So what we did, we started explaining why we are doing this, why it's important for our company. We started doing together with them preparation to the audit. And we started audit with the jokes. So it's Alex from my team, and for his birthday, he got this auditor jokes book, was really happy. And there's like a silly jokes, you know, it's like not something super intellectual even, but it helps like to break this ice and to show that we are also people, you know, so it's audit, yes, but let's make it as fun as possible. And now we are actually enjoying this, and people are enjoying this audit. We feel it like it's a moment to connect with people. It's a moment to learn something from each other. And even our external auditor, he finds it so fun to audit us. So it's really became really fun exercise. But of course, there are more things you can do. So what we did, we created like identity. Because we are Levi 9, so we are everything about number 9. So we had this idea to create this 009 agent. And who is this agent? He knows everything about security. He codes secure. He fixes vulnerabilities. So it's just like this, this like a special agent. And we use a slogan, they call me 009, and we had these T-shirts, and people just loved it, It's just really so cool to be part of that. And we put it in everything, basically what we do. We had these backgrounds, and people use it for Teams calls. And we had this kind of a slightly silly posters for our event promotion. And we even had... we made a movie, like a promotion in 009 in James Bond style. So it was really cool. And then people are like, oh, wow, I want to go there. It's cool. I like it. And it kind of went viral, yeah. So it became bigger than us because, we couldn't stop it anymore, It just went everywhere. So we have 7 locations, and everywhere people were doing this. And we had this Securitinia special drink, special recipe, and it's just we couldn't stop people from joining our tribe. And this is our CEO. So everyone was on board, really. So, this really worked wonders. What else is important? Of course, fun is good, but it should be also insightful. Well, that's why you're here, I think, because you want to learn something. And I think if you're in IT and you don't like learning, it's a difficult place to be, right? Because it's all about learning. And our people, of course, they need this, so you need to give it to them. You need to give to them some content. So just dancing and singing is not enough here, yeah? So you need to have some content. And that's why we have this annual event. And where we bring really famous speakers. So first of all, we ask our people whom they want to see. And, if you want to jump on the table, you need to jump higher than the table. Yeah, so we are always jumping higher than the table. So we find some really famous people with books on Amazon and podcasts, and we come to them and please come to our event. And of course, some of them we cannot afford, and some of them are not interested in us. But some of them even do it for free because they like it, because they want to spread the word. And we really target this experts. We also invite from within the company, but we always have this also external experts in the field because our people deserve it, because they need to have the best content possible. And how you can also make it insightful? Well, by doing events like Hackathon, of course, Capture the Flag competition, it's fun. And people get some prizes, of course. It's also a bit of a motivation. But I think the biggest motivation here is learning. So people really come because they can learn something. And these events, they help them, of course, to learn. So that's why I think they join. And what we also did, we created our own escape room, physical escape room that we conduct for everyone in the company. And it's also about 009 theme. And they need to escape. And people love escape rooms, but they also learn there, yeah? So there is, of course, a learning element. So it's not just, there is a fun, but there's also learning in the process. So this kind of things, they can make it insightful. And of course, you can think of more. And the last part here is make it satisfying. So how you can make it satisfying? Of course, if it's fun, insightful, easy, it's already satisfying. You can also, of course, do some prizes and stuff. This is something that, it will not change people's behavior maybe, but it's cute, if you encourage people, if you give some small prizes, if they gave you some interesting ideas or they took part in a competition, something. But quite often also simple thank you is really a lot. Because what we in security see it very often, if person did something wrong, we react. If person sees something good, we are like, yeah, of course, it should be like that, right? But I think simple thank you for bringing it to us, for bringing it to our attention, even if it's something that was false. Okay, nothing happened. Still, thank you for bringing it to us, because it will encourage people to do it again, right? And that's what you need. And all this together, of course, creates this kind of spirit that people want to be part of. And when it is attractive, people want to be part of it. People want to jump on it. So they want to be part of the story. So I told you there were 3 things. I lied slightly. There is one more, but it's a bit of a bonus, which is add passion. And I have this quote, do it with passion or not at all. And adding passion is about winning hearts. Yeah, so it's you can do everything without passion. It's also fine. I mean, this will work to some extent. But I think that's why my team, we stand out so much, because we put this kind of energy into it. Even if it's audit, even if it's some document, or if it's some event, we put this like passion into it. And it could be like a quiet passion, like introvert passion, you know, it doesn't have to be like a loud passion, but it should be genuine, and they should see in your eyes that you really believe it, and you really, this is truly what you want. Yeah, so this part also is important, and it magnifies what you do. An example of passion. So how to empower people with a security topic? So first, you need to build trust using empathy. Second, you need to build a team using engagement. The third one is build community by making this topic really attractive. And you need to add passion to the mix. And all of a sudden, everyone wants to become a part of security topic. So thank you very much.